Hey everyone, this is Benny P with Living for the Outdoors, and this here is the winner of our Living for the Outdoors Big Buck Pole contest this year. And we're down here with taxidermist Chris Goch, and what he's going to do is he's going to take us through the mounting process of this buck. Today Chris is going to go ahead and he's going to correctly cape this buck. A lot of people think caping a buck is when the butcher just gets it to this point, but to cape a buck is to get the cape the whole way off the deer's head. So we're going to continue on with this video, and Chris is going to show you how to correctly do this.
I'm Chris Goch of Backwoods Taxidermy here in Leechburg, and a lot of people have a request on how do I cape this buck. Butchers will tell you they cape it, but it's not caped. This is what you get when you go to the butcher shop. What I'm going to show you today is something that maybe you can't get this in your freezer or get it to a taxidermist right away. So we're going to go ahead and cape this thing. It's not as hard as you think it is. So this way here, maybe you could salvage your deer and get it to the taxidermist without, any kind of problem. So first thing that I do is when a buck comes in like this, now naturally this is cut, okay? A butcher, if you tell him you want the cape, a lot of times it's the whole deer. What you want to do is make sure that this is well behind the front legs. Today's forms got a lot of leg on them. So here's the front legs and the brisket area. So what you want to do is make sure that you're leaving enough cape here that he has enough to work with. Okay? So what I tell my people is circle the deer around the belly and then split it down from the front legs here. And you could see where this is the belly incision and this was the front leg, okay? And all they did was circle the leg, go down. We got a lot of skin here, plenty of skin for that mount. We're gonna do a wall pedestal on this. My second step on this thing is I take a measurement before this is skinned. Now this isn't necessary if you guys worry about it. The taxidermist can do this anytime. But it's a lot easier if it's on the head yet. I take the calipers, lay it here. I'll get my face measurement, lay it on the tape. So I know what I need to order for the face. So now once I get that, now we can actually start doing the actual caping. One thing to remember, you don't want to cut hair, okay? In any incision you are going to get a little bit of hair, but the idea here is always cut, show you here, always cut up. You don't want to go this way because your taxidermist will be screaming. So what you want to do, I go right between the ears here, okay? Now I use what they call a short incision too. Some guys will split it the whole way down. I don't like doing that because then you got to sew that whole incision up. So what I do is a short incision. I'm going to go right here between the ears. I'm going to get my knife in there, okay? Now try to stay right down the center here. Usually they have that darker hair, okay? And it's just a matter of getting this down through the hair. We're going to go down past this neck right here, okay? Now you can see here, and then we didn't cut any hair. We cut up, and so the knife's coming up through the hair, not down that way. Now, what I'll do here now is I like to use the X-Acto blades, okay? Take this now. Now some guys will use what they call a 7, okay, incision, which they're going to make a cut from here over to this antler and then down. I usually use the Y incision, okay? So what we're going to do is right where this stops, I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to just make a Y incision. I'm going to cut, same deal, I'm using it up, okay? We're going to go and we're going to go straight up to this antler here, right up to the burr, okay? Okay, now once I get up to that burr, you can see here, I made this incision right up to the burr here. Okay, go right up underneath it. And this is where a lot of guys, even if you're just going to do your antlers on a panel, sometimes it's hard to get that off around the burr, but Now we're gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do the Y. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing over to the other antler. Let me get it this way here so you can see it. Always cutting up. Okay. Now that we're up here, I usually take the X-Acto knife, make sure you're clear here. Now what you want to do, here's a little trick. You could use a screwdriver. Okay? Get it at where that incision starts and just peel that right around. Comes right off then. Instead of going around with a knife and you're cutting hair. Okay, now you can see I went to, it's away from the bar the whole way around. Then I just do the opposite side. Okay. Get around here. Okay. Okay, now it's away from the bar. A little more hanging up here. Okay. Now we're away from the bar, so now I'll just start skinning it off. You can use your knife or continue. I like to use a lot of razor blades. So now we're going to start cutting. You can see how it's away from the bar here. Okay. Now this is where the ear's attached. So now you just want to stay right along the skull. Just start cutting down through here. And you want to, right now, you want to try to keep things coming off of here nice and even. That way it's not going to pull. So just work from side to side. This guy's still frozen a little bit, but okay. Now you can just start cutting around. I'll start working this down in the front. Okay, now we'll come down into here. We'll just cut. You can see where that's where the ear goes into the skull. Just cut right through, stay along the skull, and we'll do the same here. Okay, we're disconnected there now too. So now it's just a matter of skinning them off. We'll hang them here in a minute. Make it a little bit easier. Okay. All right. All right. Now some guys like to, before they get to this point, you can do this. I don't usually do it. A lot of guys will take their razor and they'll cut along the gum line here. That way it's already done, because you want to leave the gum on the deer. Okay, because that's going to be tucked. Same way with here. I'll show you when we get to the eyes that we're going to use that eye skin inside to tuck it along the clay. Okay. Okay, now we're going to start skinning this neck out. We just made the incision just past the neck, so we can we're actually going to skin this head out through this incision, and that just saves on all the sewing, you know, when it comes to doing the actual mount. So now what I did is I just put a hook through here. You don't have to do this either. It's just easier than rolling it around, you know. So what I'll do is I'll hang them here, and we'll go ahead and hang them up. And then this is where he's gonna get a little tight, because he's still a little frozen here. See if I can work him down. And like I said, you can use your knife, whatever you feel comfortable with. And it's just a matter of cutting. Yeah, the underneath here is still pretty hard. Okay, and you can see how I'm getting the neck. Okay, you can hear it's still frozen. So now we're just going to go ahead and just continue down the neck. And like I said, you want to keep it coming down even. It's a lot easier. Okay, I think we're just about past the frozen part. Now we're coming to an area here that where you want to be careful, and that's the eyes. You don't want to have your deer mounted with no eyelids. Now you can actually see here. Now I'm going to start down. You want to stay along the eye socket here. You'll actually see you can actually see the eye socket starting here. I usually stick my finger up inside. Keep pulling the skin away from the skull. But the mistake people make is they're going to cut out here. It looks like you should be cutting here. And you'll cut your eyelid. You want to stay right along this eye orbit. Now once you see that, you just stay up here. Just keep cutting right along here. Now you can see where I'm starting to get pretty thin here. Okay? And there you can see like the eyelids here. I'm just actually removing it right off the skull. Okay. Now you can actually see the eyelids still on the. That's what you want. And then you could actually see the skin here now too, that was on the inside. I'll use that to tuck it in my clay work. This will actually be split, and then it'll be cleaned, and then I actually use that skin to tuck it in along the glass in the eye, which locks that in. So now we're just going to come over here and we'll do the other side now. Like I said, just stay right along. You can see the eye socket. Pull it away. Make sure you actually get that corner too. Okay. Keep working down even. Now the next thing is the gland here. It's actually almost like a little pocket here. I mean, if you happen to cut a little bit here, it ain't no big deal, because that all gets tucked into form anyway. But yeah, you just want to dig down along. You can actually see the gland right here that was up inside here. You don't see that on the mount anyway, so. Then we'll just come over here and repeat the process here. Okay. Now we're at the jaw. Same thing here. You want to leave this skin here and let your taxidermist, you could cut through here. Now this is where some guys, like I said, they'd go around it beforehand. I never really did that. It's up to your preference, but you'll see, you'll start cutting through here. And now it's just a matter of staying right along the jawbone. Keep coming down even. You can hear I'm actually just scraping that jawbone. Now we're almost to the nose. Now you can see how I'm leaving that skin. This is the inside of his mouth here. That'll same thing. That's going to be split and it'll be tucked in the form on the mount. Okay. Now, I'll just take this lower jaw off here. Then we'll cut through the nose. Same thing, just keep staying right along the jawbone. Okay. Now you can see how I got the lip. That's the inside of the lip here. And like I said, this is going to be split down during the cleaning process. And then this will be tucked in the form, which locks everything in. Now you can see over here, I'm getting down to the cartilage in the nose. You can actually see it's softer material here. I'm not on the bone anymore. You can cut right through the cartilage, okay? And just follow that bone. Your taxidermist can take he'll clean the cartilage out. Just keep working right down through the cartilage. Okay. Over here. Take him off of here. And then like I said, you can see here now, you know, I'll take this all out and this will all be split. You know, I won't use all this skin, but I usually trim it like right along here. I'll leave maybe a 1/4 inch of that skin, you know, on the mount. This will all be split. That's what they mean when they split the eyes and the ears. Same way with the eyes. But see, now we got everything. You know, you got all your eyelids. You know, your deer will look kind of funny with no eyelids on. And then we'll actually do this ear will be skinned out too. You know, it'll just be a process of, you know, I'll start cleaning this and it'll be split the whole way out. Turn it right inside out. So there's your cape. And it's ready for the taxidermist. You got less space now in your freezer. Now what I do too is if I do got, this guy got a little bit of a neck left on him. And before I cut the horns off, I'll take my tape and I'll go ahead and get a neck measurement on him. Now you want to measure, the best measurement for the taxidermist is like 3 inches down from the ears here. Because this is actually, you don't want to get it right here. You don't want to measure, now See, this guy's got like about I'm getting 22.5 inches. I'll bet it's even a little bit bigger than that, because he's frozen right now. So, but this is where you want to measure, not here, because you can actually see how it goes in. That'll be an incorrect measurement. You want it down here. And you don't want to measure over the hair either. You know, that's going to give you a fault, because it's going to be a lot bigger with the hair and the skin on it than that one. But there he is. It's not as hard as you think. You know, if you can't get it to the taxidermist right away and you can't get it in the freezer, you can cape it. And then this is what you're going to put. Just put it in a plastic bag, freeze that up. And then the next thing is we're just going to cut the antlers off and it's done. That's how you cape a deer.
Okay, thanks a lot, Chris. I appreciate everything you've done for the channel. And everyone, stick with us as Chris does video after video, and you get to see this buck come back to life.